don't want it. Trust me, I've had the family members who suffer from it, and I think we probably all know somebody who goes through it. This is the time to kind of change the trend and make a difference and say, hey, and it comes down to decisions. The decision you make from moment to moment. Think about why all of you were here at school. You guys made a decision to get here because you want something. Okay? Same thing when it comes to fitness. If you have a goal at the end of the rainbow to say, hey, I want to be this weight, or I want to be this size, or whatever it may be, make a decision. It's all made up of all the decisions you made leading up to that. It's not a one-day decision, it's an everyday decision. That you're going to make a decision to eat this as opposed to that. This is my friend Andrew. Hard to believe looking at those pictures that that's the same person. Okay? That lady on the right, it's all the same person. Just did maybe a third or fourth fitness show over the last few years. This transformation took 5 years. Okay? 5 years. Now, that sounds like a lot of time, but if we're talking about, if I told you in 5 years you could be the best version of yourself, the question to you is, would you do it? Alright? Would you have to wait, or would you have to wait till the doctor diagnoses you and say you have high blood pressure, or you have high cholesterol, and we're going to put you on medication? And to understand something, I think the world we live in, healthcare is not guaranteed to all of us. Okay? Alright? It's just not as available and it's expensive as we would like it to be. Okay? This lady turned her life around. I don't know what the weight was at the beginning of the journey, but again, we saw her on stage about 2 weeks ago doing a fitness show, and I believe she's 54 years old. Okay? So it just goes to show that you're never too late to live a healthy lifestyle. I'm not saying anybody has to end up on stage like that if you don't want to, but we're talking about transformation. We're talking about she made the choice to change, and she went from left to right. She went from a point where she probably was on some medication. She was definitely overeating to a point to now where she's on stage with her peers at age 54. So it's never too late. Okay, again, I said a little something about portion control earlier. The type of foods that you eat make a difference. But the amount of food you eat is just as important. Okay, this item is what we call a meal measure. And if you look at it closely, you'll see it's divvied up by proteins, vegetables, and or fruit, and carbs. Okay, starchy carbs. This item right here. It can be a life changer. It can be a game changer. Is what I would say. All right. I put the link on the handout that you have. You get this on Amazon for $10. If you're not sure how much you should be eating, you can use something like this on the diet. You sit it on your plate, and it's labeled, and you fill the compartments accordingly. All right. It kind of keeps you honest. I know we're not all in the habit of measuring or weighing our food or counting calories the way we should, but this is a guideline. It's a starting point for a lot of people. $10 item that can get you to a point where you're eating normal portions of food, of the given foods that we talked about that were on the Get Lean grocery list. Use this as a guideline moving forward. Again, Amazon, the link is there. It goes for $9.99. Okay? Simple things that you can do today without a lot of major expense. Again, the scale. I have clients that I train every week. We only weigh in once a week. Okay, just to gauge the progress from week to week. No miracle is going to happen overnight. We have this way where we like to get on a scale, we get 2 sips of diet soda, we eat something healthy, and we get on a scale and expect this miracle to happen. You got to be realistic. All right, it might have taken you a couple of years to get to a point where you're not healthy, or a couple of years to gain the weight, that unwanted weight that you now have carry. It's going to take you How much time is entirely up to you? How aggressive you go about it? How aggressively you go about it? How much do you want? How much are you willing to sacrifice? Are you willing to work out 4 or 5 times a week? All right, and take on that lifestyle. Are you willing to eat healthy 6, 7 days a week? All right, get some consistency into your program, into what it is you're chasing, so you can reach the goal. The goal that you have has got to be measured. It's got to have a number to it. For guys, it might be a weight thing. It might be to look like one of those guys in the magazine covers. I know I had that dream once upon a time. Okay, you want to look like that guy. Okay, or for women, it might be just about getting into that size 8 dress or whatever that you haven't worn since high school or college or whatever it may be. Okay, whatever that goal is, it's got to be measured. It's got to have a hard number in it, so it's something you can say, hey, this is where I am. For some people, it's just being able to, stick their thumb into the waistband of their pants or their skirt, because they've never been able to do that. Simple things. That's sometimes how you measure progress. Okay? But it's very important that you not be a slave to the scale. Be a slave to the lifestyle that it takes to get there. Okay? The steps that you have to take in the way of eating, in the way of exercising on a consistent basis. That's what's important. That's what's going to get you to the goal. Not getting on the scale every day. Because I'll tell you, just not to throw too many numbers at you. If you really want to lose a pound, you have to burn 3,500 calories to lose a pound. And you haven't even eaten it. Okay? You haven't even, we ain't talking about the food part. So you have to work out or just be engaged and lose 3,500 calories to lose a pound. All right? And you're still taking in food. Those are calories, so you have to have a good offset. You got to be able to stay busy enough to offset the food you're taking in. So it's very important that you not be driven by the scale and the scale alone, because it'll drive you crazy. It really will. It doesn't know what's going on. And the body's not a well-oiled. It's not a Swiss timepiece where you just do this and all of a sudden the weight comes off. It's got to be that combination of exercise and clean eating, healthy eating, to get to the goal. And I'm telling you, and I hate to do it to you women, but you women have it tough. Okay, it's a little tougher for women than it is for guys. Okay, but it's doable. It's doable. It's definitely doable. This just has to be a level of commitment. Once you commit and say you're gonna do this, then you gotta stay consistent. Again, I go back to why you all here at the school. All right, commit to being here, and then you have to do the work consistently. You have to write the papers, you gotta take the test, you gotta study, all of that leads up to whatever that goal is. I'm thinking graduation and then beyond. Same thing with health, with a healthy lifestyle. To get to those goals, you gotta be committed, you got to be consistent in order to get to the goal, whatever your goals are. Again, I said a lot about lifestyle. It just goes to show you, all right? There are different ways of doing it, all right? Gentleman on the left, shopping, all right? It looks like he's looking at the back of the label, all right? Like back of the box, you can get an idea. The eating, the preparation, the exercise, whether it be biking, whether it be weightlifting, boxing, whatever it may be. There are different ways to get to the goal. And we'll talk later about what that's going to take, what that looks like, because it doesn't necessarily mean having a gym membership. It doesn't necessarily mean having to cook all your food the way you want it all the time. It's about some flexibility and some options that you do have. Any questions? Now, if you guys want to make this fun among yourselves, I'm assuming that there are people in this room who know each other. If there's a goal to lose weight, make it fun. Have fun with it, meaning hold each other accountable. You put together a challenge who can do the most push-ups by the end of the week, all right? And ultimately, who can lose X amount of pounds by the end of the month. There are tons. I know a lot of you might be on social media. If you look hard enough, you'll see all kinds of challenges for push-ups, challenges for squats, challenges for sit-ups, who can do the most jumping jacks, who can jump rope the longest. There's a challenge for everything. If you're on social media, you're bound to run into them. There are tons of fitness websites. There are things you can Google to find that too. And again, have fun with it. Google some things, come up with a common ground that you and your buddies can do together, okay? And hey, work through it and keep each other accountable. Whether you make the goal or not, whether you win the challenge or not, you'll be that much closer to your goal if you follow through, stay consistent. And like I said, just have some fun with it. It does not have to be this task that has got to be drudgery and painful. If you want to get fit, get healthy, these are the type of things you can do in the process. So it doesn't have to be about picking up and going to the gym. These are things you can do in the comfort of your living room, comfort of your dorm room, wherever it may be. Do it when you get up in the morning so you kind of get it out of the way. But if there's a challenge, and I think a lot of us are always up to some sort of challenge, utilize that tool in order to keep each other accountable and be able to make some history. Any more questions?
I don't have a question, but I do have more of a comment. So, myself, I'm in my 50s, African American, Hispanic woman. And so, I have tried to get ahead with the process of eating better and trying to live a healthier lifestyle. But I find it challenging for myself because of my income. So when I go out and I do buy the fresh fruits and vegetables, I find out that they perish quicker than I can kind of buy them. So that kind of works against me.
Right.
And trying to keep up with my health and fitness and trying to keep my family going with it because we don't have the income to steady keep refurbishing with the fresh fruits and vegetables.
Right,
So
and
that's
sometimes,
why.
I understand what you're saying. You know, and I think when you're in that space, it does make it challenging. And I think sometimes it depends on where you go to get your fresh fruits and vegetables. That plays a part, okay? You get to pick and choose, you know, and if you find that the place you're going to get those fresh fruits and vegetables, and that's a big part of this, I try some other places. Your income is going to stay the same, but where you spend it and where you direct those dollars is what's going to make a difference. So I would say you may have to travel a little further to get those fruits and vegetables. Because I mean, we're creatures of habit. Now, we like to go where we know, where we're comfortable, but sometimes it takes doing some uncomfortable things to get some different results. So what I would say is try to go outside the box. Let's try to find another supermarket that has a consistent, that you can see has consistently produced some fresh fruit and fresh vegetables. And it's trial and error. I can't tell you go here as opposed to go there. The food at Harris Teeter is better than the food at Publix. I can't tell you that. But what I would say is that stretch. Stop going there and just try something different. Go down the block to the supermarket that's maybe 2 or 3 blocks out of the way and just see. Your same money, just directing the dollars someplace else and see what the results are. And understand when it comes to fitness and things of this nature, a lot of what you do or what's going to work for you is trial and error. For you, it might be bike riding. That might be what you enjoy doing this from a physical standpoint. For somebody else, it may be just eating foods that are of a certain diet. We'll talk about some of the different diets that are available. Some people just want to go vegetarian. That's what works for them. Some people want to have just a classic, typical meal. That's what works for them. With you, like I said, take those dollars and direct them to another supermarket or another fruit stand or whatever it may be and see what works. A lot of it is trial and error.
No, that's not it.
I'm listening.
What I'm saying to you is that our income is not matching up with what we need to consume.
Oh, okay.
For a healthier lifestyle.
That's always a challenge because
Yeah,
healthy lifestyle costs more than it is to go buy fast food.
There you go.
That's a given. And I wish I had the magical answer for you.
That's why it wasn't a question. It was just,
yeah, you're right. Yeah, I wish I had that answer, but because like I said, we were having that conversation earlier about when you buy fast food, it's cheap now, but it costs you in bad health later. You want to get healthy, but it's going to cost you a little bit
you
more.
don't have the resources.
Right.
Maybe, you understand, because if it comes between you paying your light bills or
let's make a decision now, right? The
Right.
There is no decision to make, yeah, and I understand, and that is the challenge.
And so
The
that's
challenge.
kind of a big part of what's going on with our community.
I agree, and it's a catch-22. It's a catch-22, and like I said, I wish I could wave the magic wand to say I had the answer to that, you know, but like I said, to get healthier, it's gonna cost more. If you get to a point where you can afford to eat healthy on a consistent basis, the payoff is that you live a lot healthier lifestyle moving to the right. So I understand your dilemma. I hear what you're saying. I wish I had the answer for you, because I really do. Because I mean, especially somebody when they say they want it, you just want to be able to say, here it is, you know, but it's gonna cost you. Like everything else in life, but it's gonna cost. It's a cost. So I
think we need to do something as a community. Like, we really need to definitely start like advocating for each other. Like, we need, we did doing a lot of marches, like, you know, the black on black crime and the police brutality. So we need to start marching for healthier, for you know, more like we need more resources.
Right.
So that we can be productive in that. Like, you know, that's where we fall short, because our kids go to school hungry. Whereas, you know, I mean, it's just
I hear you saying. No. But you make a valid point. You know, we can fight the war on drugs and fight the war on this, that, and the other thing, but when it comes to something that's healthy or that everybody generally wants, you know, the battle for that or the scream for that, the cry for that is not nearly as loud. So I hear what you're saying. Anybody else any questions? Don't be shy now. This is a judgment-free zone. Okay? And we're going to exercise some. Again, it's going to be more of the same, because what I'm talking about. The point I'm making with this type of thing is the consistency that we need to have when it comes to stretching and getting up from our desks and just move. And here's another thing, just a case in point. If we all have situations where we can't exercise because of time, but we make our jobs, let's get to a point where instead of taking the elevator, we take the stairs, okay? When we are out shopping, let's not drive around the parking lot, thank you, for an hour trying to find the closest spot, okay? Let's grab the spot that's available and walk. These are some of the general things you just do, all right, as out of habit, okay? Those are the simple things you can do. Right now, the holidays, we all get ready to go do a lot of shopping. We're going to be in those malls, grab the first available spot, and get to it, and just walk. Also, for those who are interested, two of the oldest and most old school exercises I can come up with for you: jump rope, jumping jacks. Okay? Those type. I'm not gonna ask anybody to do that now, but those are the type of things. You invest in a $10 jump rope, get 5 feet of square space in your home or in your space, or just do some jumping jacks, do 10 or 12 at a time. Boom, get the blood going and just keep it moving. Because like I said, it's very important that you just stay active. Right? I, for one, as a person can tell you right now, I'm having some troubles with my knee. As active as I am, I'm having some issues with my right knee. It's the soft right, it's doing what it's doing. But it's active. You guys are in a position right now to kind of avoid those type of things if you can, just by staying active. All right? So again, let's just get the blood going, the arms going, and here's what I want you to do. Just kind of hold your arms out for, let's just see if people can just hold their arms out for a few minutes and see exactly what it takes. Get them up a little high, up a little high. Yeah, there you go. Just get them up high. And you circle it. Okay? And then go back. Okay, the same arm, just kind of rotate. Core activated. Okay? All right, stop. Now, spread your legs just a little bit and just kind of reach down. You don't have to touch your toes, but you can find. But let's loosen up that lower back. Hamstrings, get stretched. Loose, get it stretched. Okay? 5, 4, that we just did, or, like I said, taking the stairs and going to the elevator, grabbing a parking spot and walking, those are the type of things that can make a big difference in your mobility and your overall health. And not to be taken for granted. Again, fitness training. We're talking about lifestyle, workout frequency, which we kind of briefly touched on earlier. The type of training and exercise we do. I find out what people are doing now, muscle building. All right, being able to, we're going to cancel any the myth that women shouldn't be lifting weights because they don't want to look bulky, they don't want to look like a man. That's not the case. Okay, gym memberships, the importance of sleep, things of that nature. Now this, I want to first of all say, I apologize, it's a little blurry, but we kind of talked about some of the things that are up there, so I just kind of go through this quickly. Consequences of an inactive lifestyle: cancer, stroke, high blood pressure, osteoporosis, that's the thing, the part of the bones, affecting your skeletal system. Diabetes, heart disease, obesity, and kidney stones, and there are some others too. But that's the downside of not having an active lifestyle, the downside of not eating healthy, okay? Again, we're coming up on the holidays, Thanksgiving next week, Christmas in another month or so. All we ask you to do is be a little bit more conscious about what you're doing. I know you want to be. You're every day you want to be, and that's good. That's a beautiful thing. But the fact that your mindset has changed and got to a point where you want to eat healthy is a big step. You just have to find out how to get you to that point. That's a big step because, like I said, a lot of what we do here as far as health and fitness starts with how you think. Okay? We are of the mindset that we think that just going to Chick-fil-A, because it's a Christian place, is the place to go. That is just fast food. With God shining down on you. Okay? There's nothing wrong with Chick-fil-A. I mean, it's no different from the McDonald's and the Burger King and some of the other places you might be going to. All right? Again, when you go to places like that, you have to get to a point where they accommodate your goals, whatever your journey is going to be. To lose weight, maybe those are the type of places we don't eat at for the time being. You eat at those places when it's a treat outside of your ordinary, outside of your current journey, all right? Outside of the plan that you may be on right now. And we can talk about what those plans look like also. But it's very important that you make good choices. When you go to restaurants, like I said earlier, search out those calorie counting parts of the menu. Alright? So inactive lifestyle is not what we want. The silly thing that we just did with the exercise, those things make a difference. If you do those things consistently enough, you walk consistently enough, then you have those challenges I talked about, sit-ups, push-ups, squats, those type of things. Later on, I didn't pull them out. We can do things with resistance bands. I don't know if you guys are familiar with resistance bands, where you can actually do all sorts of exercise. You can get a bag of resistance bands from Amazon for $25. Okay? One-time cost is opposed to paying a monthly cost for a gym membership, which can be $25 a month. Okay? So and those type of things, I'll pull it out a little later. We'll talk about some of those things. And those type of things you can do, they'll come with booklets. They show you how to do some very basic exercises, all right? Walk when you can, if you can. I mean, I know we're in Greenville where you basically have to take a car when you go from point A to point B, but if you can walk, walk. If you live in a complex where there's a walking trail and it accommodates that type of thing, walk. Yes, sir.
I know Greenville make it easy. They got a whole rabbit trail you can get on.
Say again?
They got a whole rabbit trail you can get on.
Oh, okay. See,
That
there
runs
it
through
is.
the whole city.
Fine. You got to seek out those type of places and walk, all right? And the good thing, I mean, I'm not a cold weather person, but if you're gonna walk, this is kind of the time to do it, okay? Because the temperature is not nearly as abrasive as it is in June and July, all right? There you go. So this is the time to walk. Just bundle up, layers, and hey, walk. And when you walk, We also have this way where we walk and we generally have our music on.
Peaceful.
Yeah, exactly. Use that music to drive. All right, we got our iPads, iPods loaded with all the kind of music. Get it going, get moving, and walk with some purpose. Even if you don't have music, walk with some. Don't walk while you're Facebook. Okay, social media. Walk with some purpose. Get the legs going, get the arms going. All right, with some purpose. As funny as it may seem, as it looks to people, understand the journey that you're on. Understand the purpose that you're doing it for. Because this is what's happening. And you see people out there, the elderly out there, power walking, and they look a little strange. They look, but hey, at that age, they're after something. Take a page out of that book. Because those are the kind of people who I see why I really envy. People who have been extremely overweight for a long time, or who are up in age, if you will. They're not 25 and 30 years old anymore, all right? But they're out there aggressive, getting it on. They got the water bottle in one hand, they got the music strapped to their arm, they got the cap on, they got the jogging suit on, and they're out there. It's all about activity. It's all about activity. Now, when we talk about training frequency, I told you guys earlier, if we're talking about maintaining 3 times a week, 30 minutes a day, if we're talking about maintenance, you've already reached that weight area, a window where you want to sustain, want to maintain that weight, wherever it is, 140 pounds, whatever that number is. You stay active and you eat clean, boom, you can stay. But if we're talking about losing weight, then we're talking about 5 times a week, minimum, 45 minutes a day. Sometimes it's just cardio on the elliptical. Sometimes it's just walking outside. Sometimes it's weight training. Sometimes it could be the resistance training, resistance band training. Like I said, a set of training, resistance bands like this, Amazon, $25, one-time cost. It comes with a booklet listed with all types of routines, fitness routines. Also, we are in an age where social media, all right? We're all on YouTube watching the favorite video. This is a favorite song. Find those fitness workouts out there that use resistance bands, do a search, and they're out there, all right? If we're talking about doing bicep curls, simple. Shoulder presses, okay? Talk about, hitting the traps or the shoulders, outside the shoulders, okay? Those type of things you can, they have a piece that you can put in the doorway, run the actual fitness band, put it in the door, and do rows, all right? So all you do is make it secure. Put it at the top of the door, lat pull downs, okay? Do rows. Like I said, this is all at your disposal. You can take these things off. These are ankle cuffs. Put the belt, clip it to the ankle cuff. And this goes around your ankle. Other part goes in the door. Now you're working your legs. You can do squats, same way. All right, down, come up. All of this in a bag for $25, all right? So as opposed to going to get that membership that may be out of your budget right now, or even if it is your budget, are you really going? We all have those things, get those memberships that we don't take advantage of them. So, hey, here it is at your disposal. You can do it in the comfort of your home. And of course, with gym memberships and getting fit, there's that little sheepishness or you're a little off about being able to work the machines, work the weights. You're intimidated by that man or that woman who's in there. They look like they've been here doing it for the last 10 years. That's okay. This you can do in the privacy of your home. All right? It's all there for you if you choose to exercise. All right? So again,